Hi, this is MariBu, your favorite English teacher. In this video, we will be discussing the most confusing grammar tense in English, present perfect. If your English level is not high enough, you can use the function of automatic subtitles in English or with the translation to your native language. And just like we always do, we will be doing this with the help of songs. I really hope you like my music taste. Let's go! Yes, I know, with all the shit happening in the world, our present is far from perfect. Yeah, you got it? Got it? But I really hope to brighten up your day by helping you with this little confusion that a lot of you might have. So okay, present perfect is really not very complicated to build, but it's quite difficult to understand when the hell to use it.
I understand nothing.
So why don't we quickly figure out how to build a sentence in present perfect, and then I promise to explain to you step by step all the possible situations and functions of this wonderful grammar tense. It's easy. You take the subject, the main person, or not person, it can be whoever or whatever performs the action. Then you use have or has. Do I really have to remind you when to use have and when to use has? Okay, fine. Basically, you use has with he, she, it, and have with everything else. And then comes the verb, but it has to be in the third form if it's an irregular verb, or just use the verb plus ed if it's not on that crazy list. You can find the full list of irregular verbs below in the description. For example, I have done, he has been, we have seen, and so on. Of course, these examples that you have just heard are far from perfect. They are present perfect, but they don't really demonstrate the situations when we have to use it. So let's get to the hard part. And why don't we discuss the hardest function of present perfect just to get it out of the way? Okay, a moment of philosophy here. We all know that according to chaos theory or butterfly effect, as a lot of you may know it, everything that happens has a certain effect on some other events. By the way, do you know why it's called butterfly effect? Because it is believed that even such a small thing as a flight of a butterfly may cause a tsunami in the different part of the world. So anyways, yes, everything that happens somehow affects the future. But with present perfect, what we are looking for is something happened in the past and it has an immediate effect in the present and it's still visible. For example, your beloved dog did its business on the carpet. You look there and say, "What the hell have you done?" Preferably if the dog's poop is still there. So you're not talking about a situation that happened God knows where and doesn't have any effect on the present. You are talking about something that happened and still has the effect at the moment. The most popular examples of this function would be something like, I have finished. It means you finished, but now there is a visible result. Or, I have lost my keys. Yes, you lost them, but now you can't get inside the house, so it's kind of important, right? Don't forget to write your own examples in the comments, and all of your examples will be properly checked by me, personally, I promise you. Let's see what examples we have in popular songs. The ones where something happened in the past and it's still important. And probably the most popular example of a question in present perfect about certain experiences and things people have done in their life or haven't is the question from How I Met Your Mother. Have you met Ted?
You're my best friend, Barney.
Good, and as your best friend, I suggest we play a little game I like to call Have You Met Ted?
No, we're not playing Have You Met Ted.
Hi, have you met Ted?
The first example is a song by The Kinks. That's what they're singing. The taxman's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home. By the way, you can shorten the word has just to an apostrophe with S, the same way as you can shorten have to an apostrophe with VE. By the way, do you know that the word dough is often used as a synonym of money? So this guy is singing that the taxman has taken all his money, and as a result, he doesn't have any, right? Makes sense? So This happened in the past and now it has a visible result. The guy is actually broke. And if some of you don't know, the word broke in this case as an adjective means poor. Linkin Park in the song What I've Done also used present perfect basically in the title of the song and in the most important parts of it. So yeah, they're singing what I've done, I'll face myself. So he has done something, it means there is a certain visible result. There are some consequences. So quite a logical use of present perfect as well. If you're attentive enough during this whole video, at the end of it, you can take a test and check how well you remembered all this information. Find the test in the description below. And the other example is Queen with the song We Are the Champions.
I've done my sentence, but committed no crime.
Where we can hear, I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. So when he sings, I've done my sentence, it means he has done it, as in it is completed already. So I've done it. Yes, it's done. It's finished. It's over. The result. So really, this was the most philosophical and not very clear function of present perfect, and the rest of them will be more or less fine. So ready to move to the next one? I would call it your experience. Imagine you have a certain list of things you've tried and done in your life, not necessarily something you're proud of, but I mean, it depends. It can be something good, something bad, something you want to forget. And whenever you tick them off the list, you use present perfect. And you say, I've been to India. Or, yeah, I've done bungee jumping. Or, as one of my favorite bands, Never Shout Never sings, I've been to heaven, I've been to hell, I've been to Vegas and God knows where. Because the guy tells about all the places where he has been.
I've been to heaven, I've been to hell, I've been to Vegas and God knows where.
But as you might have noticed, he doesn't say when that happened, and that is a very important thing about present perfect. Tell people what you've done, but don't share any extra details about when this happened, because it will automatically become past simple in this case. By the way, an extra tip. If you're talking about places you've been to, don't use the preposition in as we typically use with locations, but use to. I know it sounds weird because to is typically used for directions, but in present perfect, everything goes a little bit weirdly, so yeah, I've been to Vegas. And of course, it's really popular to ask questions about people's experiences, so try to use this really popular pattern of have you ever, and then use the third form of the verb and ask all the other additional details. You can ask me questions with have you ever done this, have you ever done that? I will be really happy to answer them. So leave a comment. I mean, write it down, come on. Ask me a question. Have you ever, what? Probably the most popular example of present perfect in terms of experiences is the song by Frank Sinatra called My Way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, and so on. So basically the guy tells about all the things he has tried in his life, and yeah, he looks back at his life and tells about how it's been. One of my favorite songs ever, by the way. You guys are lucky because there are so many examples of present perfect in songs, movies, and everywhere. So yeah, just be a bit more attentive and I'm sure you will find them, and this will help you understand when the hell to use this present perfect. So we're still talking about experiences, right? Another example is this song by Eminem and Ed Sheeran where, which one of them? I think Ed Sheeran sings, I've been a liar, been a thief, been a lover, been a cheat. So he tells about all the different roles he has tried and all the different things he has been.
Been a liar, been a thief, been a lover, been a cheat.
All right, the next function is you use present perfect with words already and yet. So typically we use already with affirmative sentences, and yet we use in questions and negative ones. But there are a lot of exceptions because, come on, this is English, get used to it. And the first example is a beautiful song by the band As I Lay Dying, where they sang, they have already won and we have already lost. Beautiful. That was the example with already. And meanwhile, please don't forget to write your own example with the word already, something you have already done. It can be something you've already done today, or this month, this week, this year, or ever. And of course, just like the other examples, I will check these ones as well. Let's see how we use the word yet in negative sentences.
I promise you, kid, that I'll give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet.
And I promise you, kid, that I'll give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. I haven't met you yet. It hasn't happened yet, yeah? So basically it's kind of connected with the first function that we were discussing. It happened in the past and now it has some visible effect in the present, but in this case it hasn't happened. So it has the effect of not having happened. Right? Am I making sense? Anyways, let's practice. Let's make a negative example. An example of a negative sentence with the word yet. What is something you haven't done yet? Write this down in the comments. And a beautiful band, Mindless Self-Indulgence, gives us another example with the present perfect tense. Let's see what they're singing.
There is nothing you can do that I've not already done to myself. No, there is nothing you can do that I have not already done to myself.
There is nothing you can do that I have not already done to myself. Nice. The next typical situation when we use present perfect is with the words for and since. But please be careful with this one because present perfect is not the only option to use here, because we can also opt for present perfect continuous, but we use present perfect in these situations when you can't use this verb in any continuous tense. So basically, here's your algorithm. When you want to make a sentence with for or since, for example, for 5 years or since 1985, ask yourself, can I use this verb in any continuous tense? No, I can't. For example, I can't use be in continuous, or I can't use have in continuous. Then, in this case, you use present perfect. If you can use it in continuous, if there is nothing that tells us, don't use it in continuous, then go for present perfect continuous, and that we will talk about a bit later. For example, I have been a teacher for 12 years. Yes, I'm that old. Or I haven't been to Italy since 2019. Write your own examples with the words for or since, but don't forget that the verbs you choose have to be non-action verbs. For example, have, know, be, like, want, or something like that. What have you wanted for a long time? Who have you known for some time? Who have you been for many years? Write your own examples in the comments. And my example that I'm about to give you is this song where actually we do not hear the word for or since, but we hear in, which can also be used instead of one of those words. Specifically, in a long time, or in such a long time, and in this case, in so long. Here's what they're singing. I haven't felt the way I feel today in so long. Present perfect, classical present perfect. Now let's play a little bit. That's what she said. No, not like that. I have a couple more examples and now I will give them to you one by one and you will decide why the hell we use present perfect there. Ready? Example number 1, The Offspring. They sang, "The day has turned to night." Why do we use present perfect here? Write in the comments number 1, because la la la. No, don't write la la la. Write actually why we use present perfect. Next, Imagine Dragons, the song Believer, The Way That Things Have Been. Ooh, the way that things have been. Ooh. I can sing, actually. I'm just not trying. And I was sick some time ago, so no judgment.
The way that things have been, oh, ooh, the way that things have been, oh, ooh.
So yeah, write number 2 and write down why we use present perfect here. And the other one, Adele, the song Hello, here's what she sings. I'm sorry for everything that I've done. At least I can say that I've tried to tell you I'm sorry for breaking your heart. Why does Adele use present perfect here? What do you think? Tell me, have you ever really loved a woman? Sings Bryan Adams.
Tell me, have you ever really ever loved a woman?
But what we were talking about is when you use ever, speaking about the past, about your past experiences, like have you ever really loved a woman? And this brings me to another really popular situation for present perfect is the word never. Again, when we talk about the past, what is something you have never done? For example, I have never been to Australia because those spiders and freaking creatures scare the shit out of me. What about you? What is something you have never done? Write this down in the comments. So these were the main functions of present perfect. And of course, you may find some other examples and you might think like, hey, this doesn't fall into any of those categories. And this happens because
this is life. Rules change. Get used to it.
Sorry, just breaking down. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is this is the most important information you need to know about present perfect. But if you find some other examples that you feel do not fall into any of these categories, feel free to share with me. Write this down in the comments and we will discuss this all together. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Present perfect. It was present perfect. You haven't done it yet. And of course, leave comments answering all those questions that I'm asking in this video. It will help you practice. It will help other people practice because they will see me correcting your mistakes if you write them with mistakes. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. And also this will help me promote my videos and let a lot more people know about this cool channel and the cool way to learn English. And apart from watching my videos, you can study English with me at one of my courses. Please click the link below in the description and find out about the possible ways to study with me. And by the way, one of the courses that is coming up is something really unique. You probably have never, present perfect again. You probably have never seen anything like that before. So here's the thing. You will study and practice grammar, you will enhance your speaking skills, but at the same time, you will work on one of your big goals in your life and will just become a better, healthier, and happier person. In this course, I will use not just my teaching skills, but also the skills of a certified life coach. I'm sure you will love it. This will help you save a lot of your time, a lot of money actually, because you will combine coaching, psychology, and learning English. And it's just a fun, unique way to study. Can't wait to meet you there. I decided to make this video about present perfect because it's probably the most confusing one, but there are so many other topics that I can help you learn. So don't forget to write in the comments which topic you want to hear me explain next. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Don't forget, please, to input in this part the episode from Elvis, where he sings, where he says,
That's what she said?
No. Tells, what was the guy from corporate? This guy who then quit and started playing the drums. Yeah, this one. Because have you ever really ever loved a woman?
Don't ever, for any reason, do anything to anyone, for any reason, ever, no matter what, no matter where or who you are with, or where you are going, or where you've been, ever, for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, and then he said in the backstage that sometimes it starts a sentence and I never know where it takes me. That was his life motto, by the way. By the way, in this example, the word ever is used not in the meaning of present perfect, because sometimes you can use ever in general. Like, do you ever drink coffee? No, I never do.